Today we're going to show you all how to put some of these pickets on. And start off, since we know the top of our rail is 8.5 inches above the ground, no matter what the slope is. We'll put a mark on our picket 8.5 inches. And these are our 40-inch pickets, which is our tallest picket at each post. So we're going around for all the 40-inch pickets we're going to put up, mark 8.5 inches, and that'll tell us exactly where that picket needs to stop at the top of this bottom rail here. And then to get it square on that post, I go around with my square and mark the edge of that post. That way I know where it needs to be based off of this mark, and I can center it on the post with these other marks. Then come down here and I'll show you how I put those on. We put the tallest picket on first. That way we can use those two pickets to level our bottom for the rest of our pickets, and then we'll also hang our string from those two pickets to cut our arch. So we'll set these first before we set any of the other pickets. And so come here close so you can see kind of how to have the mark set up. So line it up with that mark and the edge of the post mark, and then I just check my level to make sure it's level, and it is. And I use this clamp here. I just clamp it to the post, that way I don't have to hold it while I work on it. We're using 2-inch screws to put the 3/4 inch pickets on. 2 screws per picket. Or 4 screws per picket, 2 on top and bottom, 2 on. And then that one's done, and we'll do this last one, and we'll start cutting we'll hang some strings for our arches, and put a string across the bottom there so we know where to stop all of our pickets in the middle here. Now we're going to put some pickets on this section here, and I'm adding a string here on the bottom, so we'll have something to set all of our pickets by. Since we set these at 8.5 inches, the string will follow this one and this one down here, and all of our other pickets will be at the correct height. We're going to hang a string for our arches.
Why do you do this right now instead of at the end? Make sure your pickets are high enough.
Yeah, if you do it now, because I didn't cut all the pickets the same height. So if I do it now, I know my pickets are going to be tall enough when I put them on. Also, I know which one to use without looking at the drawing. There's no surprises later.
In order for all of our arches to be the same, he has to measure the middle of the string, which is now blowing in the wind. It's not very efficient. What's it gonna measure to, Barley?
So we want the center of our arch to be about 4.5 to the top of that rail. This section's a little bit longer than 8 foot, so I have this string preset so I can find that measurement a little bit easier. But so on this one, you just measure to the center of that fence. Your string's going to keep sagging right in the center. It works better if the wind's not blowing 100 miles an hour. So we've got these spacers made. I've got 2 of them. This one's a little bit narrower than the other one. So I just usually use it. And you just move your picket down to hit your string. Make sure it's above that string. And I need my clamp. I don't have, yeah, there it is. And you check each picket, make sure it's level. And we usually just put a screw in the top, a screw in the bottom, then we'll come back later on and put the second screw in each picket. You see that? This one's 36 inches. It's barely going to be tall enough, but it'll work. And that way we don't have to second guess or try to figure it out. You know, based off of that string, whether it'll work or not. Oh, it's really close. So now what I'm doing, go back wherever that string hits the board, I mark on both sides of the string. And then I'll get my straight edge, just draw a line across there, and I'll just cut a straight line